What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. We are going to be doing the analysis of the hard-fought victory against Tottenham away yesterday night. So we're going to start off with this analysis, and first up we're going to be mentioning the pitch. The pitch was terrible, but it wasn't as bad really as what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be pretty much like a mud pit, a sand pit like that. Obviously they still had the NFL logos on there still. The groundsman, I think they did a very good job in actual fact to be able to get a competitive football match on that pitch. I mean, the match simply shouldn't have been there, but it was the same for both sides really. Wembley's pitch, it needs relaying. They need Tottenham out of there and into their new stadium. Obviously, Tottenham's problem, not ours, but, you know, we've got the 3 points, we move on, we focus on everything else now. It's in the past, it is history. So we're going to now talk about Manchester City's side and what we went with, and also what Tottenham went with. So we went with Laporte starting with John Stones, obviously Manchester City's two star performing central defenders this season. I'd have personally gone with Otamendi because I was expecting Tottenham to put a lot of balls into the box, or holding the ball up a lot in the game. Otamendi's very good in the air. However, every time Tottenham were putting balls into the box, corners, set pieces and everything, we dealt with everything that they threw at us. It was just when the ball was being hoofed up from the defence, every time the ball was getting challenged, normally Tottenham came away with it because they had a lot more physical presence to their side, and it ended up being Manchester City winning the game. Again, don't really care. So Sergio Aguero came in for Gabriel Jesus as expected, and Riyad Mahrez ended up starting again, which I was surprised by. I was expecting to see Lirasan and Raheem Sterling on the wings. We ended up seeing Riyad Mahrez. Right call there from Pep Guardiola, in my opinion. One added note before we crack on with what happened in the game. Manchester City's League Cup game is on Thursday, so have a look at Manchester City's substitute bench for the game against Tottenham, and in my opinion, you've got 7 starters right there, so it makes that team prediction a little bit more simple for the preview, which will be up tomorrow. Keep your eye out for that one. We had De Bruyne on the bench too. He came on later on. He looked very lethargic, very short of match preparation, so he's got a perfect chance to go and get 90 minutes under his belt against Fulham on Thursday. For Tottenham, Dele Alli and Eriksen on the bench. Big relief for me not having them two start. I felt like with them two starting, this would have been a whole entirely different game, but we'll get on with that once we've got on with the analysis. So 6 minutes in, and Ederson, who terrible back header from Kieran Trippier, ended up allowing Raheem Sterling, takes one side, takes the other, leaves Kieran Trippier for dead, squares the ball across. There's Riyad Mahrez, who made a nice, well-timed run for him to tap in, fire it home and make it 1-0. Absolutely fantastic, just the start that everyone was looking for. In celebration, he points to the sky with both hands. It's heartwarming, it really is, with the travesty that has happened in Leicester with regards to the helicopter crash and their owner sadly passing away. So it's a nice tribute there from Riyad Mahrez to his former club and his former boss, who he calls the boss. So yeah, very touching, very emotional. Well-deserved goal for Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez had a very, very good game in this game. Now, before we get to half-time, Spurs had 3 very good chances to go and score. Harry Kane missing a powerful dipped shot that ended up going just over from a Laporte mistake. Then Harry Kane missed another one-on-one, led from a Mendy error. I think it were Ederson ended up come rushing out and closing that down. And then also got into a good position. I think there was a corner that was headed and went straight to Ederson. They had 3 pretty decent opportunities there to go and test Manchester City. All 3 times Ederson even ended up making a simple save, or the ball just simply ended up off target, or Ederson ended up closing them down. Tottenham not at their clinical best at all. Now Kieran Trippier and Sissoko ended up getting into some decent positions as well to pull the ball back. Both again not with very good balls put across, so they weren't really there in the final third. Laporte was excellent at dealing with the balls that were coming across, particularly from Sissoko and Trippier. So yeah, we looked a little bit shaky at the back. Benjamin Mendy, to put it lightly, wasn't having the best of games. Kyle Walker wasn't having a very good game either on the other flank. And John Stones and Laporte, although Laporte made a couple of mistakes, overall, in his recovery, tracking back and making things happen, same with John Stones, both of them excellent just again. But I felt lucky. Spurs didn't punish the errors that we'd made. Fernandinho was absolutely brilliant in the first half and in the second half. The 2 Silvers were immense. Sterling and Mahrez were excellent, making things happen. Absolutely brilliant. We'll take that half-time Manchester City goal 1-up. We just about deserved the lead, in my opinion, because we were making things happen. We'd got the goal. And then from there, It was all about could Tottenham find the equaliser, and Man City were just hoping to then try and punish them going into the second half. And into the second half, Manchester City then, it was our turn to go and create some very good chances. Aguero missed a great chance with a tame effort going straight at Hugo Lloris. David Silva should have just simply slid in and made it 2-0. Instead takes the touch, passes it to Sterling. Sterling beats Lloris but doesn't beat the defender just before it goes onto the line. And then David Silva ended up doing a free kick which went straight into the wall. It's getting very frustrating. I'm wondering if Riyad Mahrez is now going to start taking over our set pieces, particularly direct free kicks. It was excellent for Leicester at doing direct free kicks. I felt like he should have had that effort that was about 22, 23 yards out. It would have been perfect for the left foot of Riyad Mahrez, someone who's very accustomed to taking free kicks. David Silva took it. He's obviously more experienced at Manchester City, the senior player. I think it's about time we started seeing Riyad Mahrez on them now to see what he can do. Then ended up on the 79th minute, huge chance for Spurs. Riyad Mahrez was pressed into a mistake. Dele Alli was away. He squares it across to Eric Lamela. He's got a tap in. It's not an open goal like we had with Riyad Mahrez, but it's just a simple finish. It bobbles up on the bad pitch and he ends up just blasting it high over the bar. Thank heavens for that one. Next up, a little bit of a talking point. Sissoko went high. A couple of Man City players got booked for stopping play. Sissoko went a little bit high on Raheem Sterling. Sterling was getting booed by everyone, which I found a bit odd. And ended up going over the ball into Sterling with his studs up. Certainly should have been a yellow card. I'm not too sure why he weren't given a yellow card to Sissoko for that one. But all in all, I thought Sissoko actually had a pretty decent game. We'll get to that in a moment when I review that. But full time, 1-0. We dug really deep there. Another clean sheet, 6 clean sheets in a row now in the Premier League for Man City. We've conceded only 3 times in 10 games. We're still unbeaten. Another win. We're back on top of the Premier League. I'll take that every single day of the week. We're just going to have a look at the stats and then we'll have a look at the performances. So City ended up having 52% possession compared to their 48%. Very close. I was expecting that at Wembley. Tottenham are very good on the ball. They did have to go long a couple of times. When they did go long and they weren't accurate, the Man City were able to find bits of spaces. That's where David Silva and Bernardo Silva were excellent in this game. We ended up having 3 times as many shots more than them. They had 4 shots, we had 13 shots. On target for them, just 1. That header, I think, from the corner. They tested Ederson once. For all the power and making things happen and breaking forward and Man City making mistakes at the back, particularly from players like Benjamin Mendy, we only ended up having 1 shot on target. I thought we was excellent in our defending of this game. Like I said, Laporte, Fernandinho and Stones, absolutely brilliant. We ended up having 6 shots on target. Disappointing that only 1 went in. Like I said, it should have been 2-0 really. But, you know, a win is a win. They ended up having 476 passes, 80.5% pass completion rate. City had 514, a little bit lower than what we normally have, but Wembley's a massive pitch at 83.5% possession. Like I said, the pitch is so big, it's hard to be able to make 600, 700, 800 passes and have that at 90+ pass completion rate. And it shows. Key passes, City ended up having 9 compared to their 4 clear-cut chances. Spurs created that 1 with Lamela. City ended up making 3 clear-cut chances. Disappointing that only 1 went away. But that's all that matters. 1 did go away early on. We'll take that every day of the week. We're putting the same amount of crosses. We ended up making more dribbles. We had more corners. Made more recoveries. We're excellent. They've dominated the tackling stats. We made more interceptions. They made more blocks. We had more clearances. They had more headed clearances. So a very... they ended up making more saves. So a very even defensive stats, which is surprising. Tottenham really just not at their clinical best, basically. So for Spurs, Sissoko, excellent for them. Just didn't really have that clinical edge in the final third. They missed Dele Alli and Eriksen to make things happen. It never happened for them in the middle. Like I said, they missed them players. You know, they're big players, so you're obviously going to miss them. Tottenham, they'll be disappointed to have lost this game, though. They created enough chances. That 1 decent chance really should have gone away. They'll be disappointed to have lost this game. But to put it simple enough, they weren't clinical enough. They looked a little bit tired. They looked a little bit leggy. Manchester City, when it came to the crunch, looked better. Fernandinho, in my opinion, man of the match. He could have saved the Titanic yesterday if he was on the Titanic. He was just here, there and everywhere, recovering everything, cutting out play, making tackles, breaking things up. Absolutely phenomenal. His first half performance, one of the best I've ever seen from a defensive midfielder. Absolutely brilliant. Riyad Mahrez has started to become my favourite winger at Manchester City at the moment. Not only is Riyad Mahrez scoring goals, getting assists, making things happen up front, one thing I have noted, and he's done something that Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané can't do anywhere near as well as him, is he tracks back and helps Kyle Walker out. We noticed how Benjamin Mendy made a lot of mistakes. And when he made mistakes, there was no one there covering him. Fernandinho was trying his best. Laporte was trying his best. but they never really had that help out from the wing because Raheem Sterling always stayed forward. When Kyle Walker was making mistakes under pressure and stuff, notice how Riyad Mahrez is always there to mop up. He did it in the last game, he did it in this game. He's tracking back, absolutely phenomenal. He's becoming the complete package, and I can't wait to see him once he has fully settled at Manchester City and got fully going. He's going to be one phenomenal player, and to think a lot of people were criticising him just, what, 6-7 weeks ago. He's a completely different player now, and I'm absolutely delighted to see that. The two Silvers are excellent. Laporte and Stones were good. Didn't have the best games, but they were still very good in this game. Particularly when they were doing the build-up play. You know, they were making things happen. The clearing and defending was excellent for them. I said they didn't have the best games because I said there's a couple of mistakes here there. But, you know, I thought our defence had a few mistakes in them. Was lucky just not to be punished. Walker and Mendy didn't have the best of games, to say the very least. I don't really like criticising, but if they want one step to aim at to go forward, it would be to try and work on the two wingers or the wing backs from Walker and Mendy and make things happen. Mendy had an ace game at Anfield. We needed something similar. He didn't really have his defensive brain on. His passing wasn't fabulous in this game. He didn't really look like he knew what he was doing at times. We've got a lack of option at left backs, hence he was playing. He had no support and no help. I'm hoping Pep can have a talk with him, make things happen for him. Obviously, we've got a game against Fulham where we're expected to us to be a lot more offensive, so it'll suit him a lot more. When he needs to be defensive, Pep needs to make sure that he lets Mendy know that you need to be defensive, because we've seen him defend very well. We saw it at Anfield. One added note, though, Ederson, as cool as a cucumber. His control of the play, closing down Harry Kane, the tackle on Harry Kane, that was absolutely phenomenal, and I'm just learning to absolutely love Ederson. So, there we go. My conclusion, a win is a win. I'll take the 3 points, top of the league, and we'll move on to our next game. Thursday night football. No, it's not Europa League. It's actually Carabao Cup action against Fulham. It's a Thursday because we played on a Monday because this had to be moved. It's a bit odd. We've had to move the Southampton game now to the Sunday. There we go. Stranger things have happened. Expect quite a lot of changes. We'll have the preview up tomorrow. Stay tuned for that one. If you enjoyed this video, leave a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Put your push notifications on to be notified when I've uploaded, with plenty of Manchester City content to come. Don't forget to check out my social media links, Twitter and Instagram, in the description below, along with my email if you want to hit me up with any business enquiries or any sponsorships for any videos. Go and share this video, help my channel grow, that'd be ace. We're aiming for 2,000 subscribers before the year is out. Can we reach there? I certainly hope so, so make sure that you support my channel, make sure you subscribe, notifications on, that would be absolutely brilliant, and I'll love you forever. There we go, that's been the video. Go and check out my other channels. I'll leave the links to them at the end of the video. If you go and like and subscribe over there, like and subscribe over there. Go and check out my other videos, and I'll see you all again for the preview tomorrow for the match against Fulham at the Etihad in the Carabao Cup 4th round. So it's been JSGC. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm smiling because I'm happy to come out of that awful pitch with 3 points on top of the table. Pressure onto everybody else. I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next video. Peace. Ciao for now.